I'm going to start this video out by reading a short history of the former American Woolen Company in Norwich, Connecticut. The American Woolen Company played a significant role in Norwich, Connecticut's industrial history, particularly through its operations in the Thamesville section of the city. Origins: Norwich Woolen Company. The roots of the American Woolen Company's presence in Norwich trace back to the Norwich Woolen Company, established in 1863. Initially, the company specialized in manufacturing high-quality carriage cloth. By the early 20th century, it had shifted focus to producing woolen and worsted fabrics for suiting and outerwear. The company operated 2 mills along the Yantic River and, starting in 1916, began constructing a modern plant in the Thamesville area along the Thames River, completing it over several years. Acquisition by American Woolen Company. In 1921, the American Woolen Company, a major New England textile conglomerate founded in 1899, acquired the Norwich Woolen Company's 3 plants for $570,000. At the time, American Woolen was the world's largest manufacturer of woolen and worsted fabrics, operating 58 mills across 8 states. Following the acquisition, production was consolidated at the Thamesville facility, leading to rapid expansion. By the end of 1921, the Thamesville mill employed 650 workers and was equipped with 21 sets of carding machines, 88 looms, 7,056 spindles, and 32 knitting machines. Decline and closure. The mid-20th century brought challenges to the American Woolen Company's operations in Norwich. Increased competition from southern textile mills, which often operated with lower labor costs and newer facilities, led to a decline in the New England textile industry. By the late 1930s, employment at the Thamesville mill had dropped below 300. Despite efforts to maintain operations, the Norwich factory was ultimately closed in 1954, resulting in the layoff of the remaining 150 employees. Post-textile use. After the closure of the textile operations, the Thamesville plant was acquired by Sawyer Displays Incorporated, a manufacturer of display and advertising products based in Putnam, Connecticut. Sawyer Displays utilized the facility into the late 20th century, marking a shift from textile manufacturing to other forms of industrial production. The history of the American Woolen Company's factory in Norwich reflects broader trends in the American textile industry, including the rise of industrial manufacturing in New England, the challenges posed by regional and global competition, and the eventual decline of traditional textile mills in the Northeast. My grandparents used to work at the American Woolen factory in Norwich. My grandfather was a boss, as they referred to the terminology back in them days, a manager, but, the term boss was frequently used. The funniest story he ever told me about that, and told all of us about that, the years working there that he enjoyed. One day a gentleman was there, and the big windows that you see here that overlook the river and everything. The windows were huge. Now it's all open, but back in the day that the factory was operating properly, the windows you could open them up. So, it was very hot in there. So one of the windows was open, a big, huge window. And the gentleman told my grandfather, "I'm going to have my lunch." So he sat down near a window to eat his lunch, pulled out his paper bag, pulled out a sandwich. Before he took a bite of the sandwich, he took his false teeth which were very common back in them days, and placed them on the windowsill. Within seconds, a seagull swooped down, grabbed the dentures, and flew off majestically over the river with his dentures. Okay? The place went into hysterics. I mean, this is a legendary story. My grandfather was an eyewitness. A second note, my grandmother worked there. And it was acknowledged by everybody that I've ever spoken to about the situation and you know, the veracity of these things that I heard about my grandmother operating a loom. But she was known as the finest loom operator anyone has ever seen in that American Woolen plant. I'm not bragging. I'm stating facts on what I've heard since I was a little child from many, many different sources. Not from her. She would not brag and would not acknowledge that she was considered the best. I just wanted to add those personal little touches in there about my grandparents working there. I hope you enjoy the rest of the video.